and then you have no seeds. You have little cucumber boats. All right, so that's one thing you can do with your take these seeds out. I do the same thing for tomatoes. I take the seeds out of tomatoes depending on what recipe I'm doing. I also take the seeds out of a jalapeno with these. There's a lot of little different things that I've done with this tool, so I love the core and more. Now, another thing that we can do is this is one of our new tools. This is called the spiral and slice. Does anybody ever want to make Slinkies out of their food? Because we can do that now. All right, so we're going to take our cucumber, and we're going to take out, this is the divider. So if you wanted to have slices, you would put this in there, but we want to show you a Slinky. So we take it, and there's like a little teeny post right there. We're going to put our cucumber down on the center, so it kind of holds it in place. Grab the plunger piece, and then we're going to turn. And as it comes out, ooh, you like that? Comes out as a Slinky. How fun is that? Couldn't you wow some people next time with your salad and put that on there? I will tell you it's kind of hard to eat if you kind of like that. But that is totally fun. One of the pictures I love to see is when they do like a half of an onion like that, like for a long sub. That would be kind of fun. So this is definitely a fun tool to have. This is called the spiral and slice. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. I would recommend things without a core. So like you do your cucumber. The only thing that's left over is this really funky piece of cucumber seed that's kind of left over. So you can just discard that. And then the little, like, it's just like a mushroom, little piece. So I usually just discard that. That's why I didn't bother cutting that piece off, so I didn't waste any, because I was going to be left with that anyway, so we'll just get rid of that. So this is definitely fun. Now, if we wanted to do it in slices, we would put the divider back in it, and then we would take our halves and put them on either side. And then as we spiral, they come out in pieces. Let me just line that up a little bit better. Oh. Paper not perfect. There we go. Now I'm getting down there so it's leveled off again. So you can have your slices just like that. So depending on what you're doing, like say you're doing zucchini and squash to put on the grill, or you're doing onion or whatever you want. You can do whatever you want and have slices. So this is definitely a fun tool. Would your kids eat more salad or your family eat more salad if you had more fun with your veggies? You know, my kids do. And my husband's like, this is so good. I'm like, heck, I spiraled it. That made it better, right? All right, so there's two different ways to do your cucumber. Now, the third way I'm going to do is actually I'm going to use our our simple slicer. And let's just say whoever was at your house did not like the peel of a cucumber. So I like to use our serrated peeler. I like this better than our vegetable peeler that goes back and forth. It's just a personal preference. I like the grip that I have with this. I usually just go straight down whatever I'm doing. Sometimes I like to leave stripes on there. When I did my shepherd's pie the other day, I made mashed potatoes and I left stripes in the mashed potatoes, but I used this. These little ends right here are so that you can carve out the like little, boo-boo pieces of a potato. So I love to have that on here and make it super simple. Now, with the simple slicer, how many of you have seen or have the Ultimate Mandolin? Or it was called the Slice and Grate many years ago. It's a bigger slicing tool, had like multiple blades that you could replace in there. Okay, so this is like a little cousin to that, okay? So they kind of simplified it, why it's called the simple slicer. There's only one blade. You don't have to interchange it like the other one was. And it has 3 different thicknesses, all right? And please take my warning when I say use the guard. Okay, this does not have a safety mechanism that you can use this without the guard and I've taken off a knuckle. So we do not want to experience that. All right, so I'm going to put the guard on there. Let me grab my other cutting mat here. And it's got little tines on there so you can put your cucumber on there. And then we're going to start to slice. So I'm going to line it up, and I usually by habit just kind of rest it. All right, so that's a 1. I'm going to show you that in a second. A 2, and then a 3, depending on your thickness there. So you guys can see. So usually I do potatoes for the chip makers on a 1. If I'm doing cucumber for salad, a 2 is usually great. If I'm doing potatoes for mashed potatoes, I do a 3. So you have 3 different sizes there depending on how much fun you want to have with your vegetables. And like I said, you can do your zucchini and squash on this too, like you're getting ready to put them on the grill. So those are totally fun to do on there. So we'll just leave those cucumbers to put on top there too. All right, so then we're going to do some tomatoes, and I wanted to also show you, along with our forge cutlery, if you notice, if you already flipped to this page, you notice they have a nice price tag on them. They are lifetime guarantee. I definitely think the number one reason the way people get these is they host a show to either get them half price or for free. So we actually have another line of cutlery in the catalog too that's much more economical. I like to call these my Shrek knives because they are green like Shrek. And they're just very economical knives. Okay, this is the tomato knife. It's specifically called a tomato knife in the catalog. It is a serrated knife. These are a stamped knife, which means they basically rolled out the metal and they cut the shape and they put a handle on it. With this knife, it is forged. So they heated it and hammered it into place, kind of like they would a sword back in the Robin Hood days, is what I think of. So that's the difference in the knives. You know, I have both in the house. They actually have a Sanchuco in the green color-coded too. So if I'm going somewhere that I might need a knife, say like a picnic or something, nothing crazy. I might take this one with me as opposed to if I lost this one, I would cry. This one I would not cry as much. I would really cry if I lost this one. All right, so I absolutely love that knife. Now with the tomato knife, the nice serrated edges, that was the one thing is I am Italian and do not like tomatoes. And I think one of the reasons was because they would squirt everywhere. And so part of the problem was I had a dull knife, because that's the most dangerous knife you can have. And try to cut a tomato with a dull knife, it just pulverizes it. So with this, I can do a nice slice right through it. It's nice and serrated. We'll have to ask Wanda. Where did she go? Over there. Wanda, what are these called? Plum tomatoes. What are they also called? Roma tomatoes, okay? So I wanted to give you guys a quick lesson because she said she had to go to 2 stores, and I was like, oh no, why? And she didn't know that that name is inversely, okay? I've done the same thing. The first time I ever made a recipe that called for that, I was like, and if you go to that cookbook now, you will see in parentheses, plum tomato, so that I remembered forever and ever. Again, I can use my core or more and take the seeds right on out of there if I didn't want that. Sometimes when I make my fresh salsa, I take the seeds out so that it's not, so I don't have as many seeds in there, and I have a little bit more texture that I want to achieve with my salsa. All right, so Rochelle, I'm going to have you push pause.